All right, guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you. And we're now live to discuss WWE Fastlane 2018. I do apologize, this live stream did come a little bit later. I got home about 8:30 or whatnot, so I missed the first half hour of Fastlane. So I actually was starting over from the beginning. So I was a little behind. I was pretty much like a match behind throughout the whole night. But I did catch up, watch the whole show, and then I wanted to watch Talking Smack as well. But I'm here now live to discuss this pay-per-view that I will be 100% honest and say I did not have high expectations going into this pay-per-view. However, though, was it terrible? No. It was definitely, as I keep saying, Fastlane to me has always been probably one of the weaker pay-per-views because of its placement when it exists. It's a pay-per-view in between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. And again, I get why this pay-per-view first exists in the first place back in 2015, because they wanted to move the Elimination Chamber, because they didn't want to have too many big events at the same time, like Royal Rumble, then Chamber, then Mania, and then there's rest B pay-per-views, and then SummerSlam and Survivor Series. Well, Money in the Bank also is somewhat of another exciting pay-per-view as well, I'd say, with the concept behind that. But honestly, I just still think this pay-per-view, just personally, is not a good pay-per-view to have in between the Rumble and WrestleMania. With that, though, I will say, even though all the Fastlane pay-per-views have not had a good history, this is probably the second best one to me, in my opinion. Last year's and 2016's were trash. This year's was average. It was okay. There was some stuff I liked, some stuff that was, just a complete waste of time. But for the most part, it was a passable show. The first year, we had John Cena and Rusev have a good U.S. title match. We had the confrontation between Sting and Triple H. Even though, to me, it felt like it was Vince McMahon talking to us through Daniel Bryan, the match with Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns is still a good match in 2015. And a couple other things we had that pay-per-view was pretty good. Oh, yeah, we also had the Usos and Tyson Kidd and Cesaro having a good match as well. So that one is, I say, if this is most likely, which I kind of hope it is, the last Fastlane we'll get, since the brand-specific pay-per-views are being dropped, then I'd say the first one's definitely the best. This one's probably the second best overall. Live chat, let me see here. Let's go with, Hassan the Money. What is up, buddy? Asuka is going to SmackDown Live. Yes, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that match with her and Charlotte. WWE needs Toni Storm. Yes, I really like Toni Storm. I'm just not sure if she's going to come to the company right now. The club, what were your predictions for this event? I was wrong on 3 of them, and one of them was the pre-show. Well, I didn't watch the pre-show, so I can't really judge that match. But okay, I had Nakamura over Rusev. I had Bobby Roode retaining the title with one, either Orton or Roode turning heel. I was kind of wrong. Well, I was wrong on the decision on that one as well. And then let me see here. What was next? I did get Carmella and Natalya over Becky and Naomi happening. And then, well, I predicted the Usos to retain, which technically they did, but didn't go down the way as planned. Charlotte retaining over Ruby, with Asuka appearing. I predicted that, and AJ Styles retaining. So I was wrong for. Let me see. I was wrong for the U.S. title match, and almost completely wrong. Well, technically, I wasn't wrong for the tag title match, but yeah, those are my predictions. Robbie, what's up, man? He says, since Jinder wasn't added to the U.S. title match, you fear Jinder challenging for the title in Mania may come true. Oh, we will get to that. We will sadly get to that. Also, Mike, thanks for all your comments and feedback on my Fastlane book video. Sure, no problem, Robbie. I'm always going to definitely endorse you. I know you want to get in there and, finally get rid of this pile of crap we're getting from Road Dogg. Some parts in the show, I was thinking, yes, hashtag fire Road Dogg. But again, Fastlane wasn't a complete flop. If anything, it was definitely just a one-match show. The main event was awesome. I get the main event was great. Nakamura and Rusev was a good opener. Well, actually, instead of just going through already my thoughts on everything just quickly, let's actually just go through the actual show itself. Live chat, as always, feel free to leave your comments in the live chat, and let's get going. Also, if you follow me on Twitter as well, make sure to leave your answer to your grade on the Twitter poll as well. So, guys, let's get right to it, and then we'll be on the road officially to WrestleMania. No more pay-per-views. It's just 28 days straight down the line. So let's do this. Oh, and Rob says, Nakamura Day. I'll give them shit. I thought Shinsuke did sound good when he did that on SmackDown last week. Yeah. And yes, as a song would say, poor Becky. We'll definitely get into that match also. But first, let's go over what happened in of course, beforehand that. We had a 6-man tag match on the pre-show. It was Ty Dillinger and Breezango taking on Mojo Rawley and a team of Gable and Benjamin. I did not see the match. Don't know how it went. Dillinger pinned Mojo for the win. Okay, cool. But didn't see it, so I can't judge it. So our opening match was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev. And as I kept saying, Shinsuke definitely needed an opponent for this pay-per-view. But it had to be somebody who was worthwhile going to give him the momentum going. Although Rusev definitely, is not a terrible opponent, it wasn't the right time to having him lose to Nakamura to give him momentum. Because the whole idea was Shinsuke and Rusev were fighting because apparently Nakamura hurt Aiden English's Adam's apple or whatever heck he did and took away his singing voice. He was able to sing just fine tonight, but that was his weak storytelling for your Royal Rumble match. Where a guy who, like I kept saying, was, struggling to get some momentum going after when he feuded with Jinder, because that feud we all know was definitely atrocious. And then they did make him look good at all in the Survivor Series match. And then he had to be, part of the whole tag team match with Zayn and Owen's career on the line. And then he won the Royal Rumble. So I'm like, okay, you could have given him at least a little bit more momentum going to the Royal Rumble, even though we knew he was a favorite to win it. And then afterwards, he just been saying, which I actually mentioned what also happened with him later on tonight, though, also, which I thought I chuckled to it. But he kept saying, every time AJ kept saying, "I will beat you at WrestleMania." But so I'm like, yeah, let's get this going. So I think we're going to at least get something going with this at least. But now you have him fighting Rusev, a guy who himself needs momentum as well. Why don't build up him and Aiden English in the tag title picture as well? But instead, no. What they could have done instead was they could have had Rusev replace Cena in the I don't know what the story would be in the 6-pack challenge, have Cena face Nakamura with Nakamura's number one contendership on line, or as I did Randy Orton. But I was completely fine with the direction Randy Orton went for this pay-per-view, except for somebody else getting involved. We'll talk about him shortly. But yeah. So, anyways, we got the match, and it started off slow. But what did help this match, I felt, and made it a little more exciting, is the crowd was really into it. The Nakamura and the Rusev Day chants. It started off a little bit slow, but then it did eventually pick up. Well, at first, when it was starting off slow, Rusev just kept getting in and out of the ring. Like, I don't want to waste my time on you. I'm thinking, well, Rusev was going to waste time anyways, because he's going to get nothing out of this match anyways. But he did have Nakamura in the palm of his hand a few times as well. It looked like that, Rusev got the upper hand on him, but then eventually Nakamura would finally get Rusev, in position, and he hit a nice looking Kinshasa to the back of his head, set up for the second one right to the front of his jaw to pick up the win. Give him a win going to WrestleMania. It would have been nice if it was against someone like John Cena or Randy Orton or somebody else who just could afford to take a loss. Like, even if they want to put him and Baron Corbin again, they had. I know their match at Battleground last year was very disappointing. They had a good match on SmackDown, even if. I feel he's still like that wild horse or dark horse wrestler you have. Like, I wouldn't be mind having him and Baron Corbin have a match for at this pay-per-view either. But just Rusev just didn't need to suffer the loss at all. He could have used the momentum going if they would have turned face, but they're not going to do it because WWE is so stubborn and want to keep Rusev heel, which is why him and Nate English come out there and pretty much crap on the crowd and whatever. But I'll give it the fact that this was a good match. But it felt like a match that if it was a like a main event of an episode of SmackDown, would have been a great main event. It would have definitely been, higher grade worthy. But because of that, it was just decent to solid. It could have been, a little bit of a better story behind all this as well. But, I'll give it to them. I thought the two of them had a good match. It was a good opener. Definitely probably one of the better matches of the night, in my opinion. But we had that match happen. Let's go to the live chat. Robbie says, anyone in the chat didn't enjoy Fastlane, go over to my channel and check out my Fastlane rebooking at Fastlane and see a pay-per-view worth your time. Hashtag shameless plug. LOL. Haha. Definitely show that. That's definitely worth seeing. The Rock insulted Canada, said the Lakers would beat the Kings and then call the Kings the Queens. And let me see here. Nakamura, a Cena, or a Nakamura Orton with Shinsuke's Mania title on the line would have been better for us momentum. Exactly. AJ heel turn tease. Kind of not really. I don't know about AJ turning heel. Yeah, I think this feud is going to definitely be, face on face in his Corey Graves voice. Kinshasa! Not too bad. Did Booty Saxon mark or have an Nerdgasm or Breezango on the kickoff show? I have no clue. I didn't see it, but I'll definitely see if that happens. I'll be sure to come back when the Lakers beat the Kings in May. Thank you guys for sharing stuff in the live chat. As always, I will keep going with the review. But yeah, good opening match between Shinsuke Nakamura and Bobby Roode. Definitely could have been a little bit higher rated, but it felt like a main event match of SmackDown Live, which is why the show felt like a solid episode of SmackDown Live. It didn't quite feel like it wasn't it was an average pay-per-view, but for an episode of SmackDown Live, this would have been solid. But we got that match, the opener. Then we had the match with Bobby Roode and Randy Orton. All day, I'm just praying and begging. Okay, I do not understand why they had to insert Jinder Mahal into this build, and it cracked me up also in the video package. Here's the thing: some of these video packages I want to talk about also that we got for these matches, because some of the stuff we got in this, I'm just like, okay, they're trying to screw us over with this. Makes sense, but the storylines for most of these feuds, I keep saying, were just, all way out of whack, very inconsistent. One moment's about this, next moment's about that, whatnot. I like in this video package for the Orton and Roode match, they just cut right to the chase, and Randy Orton is pretty much saying that, the U.S. title is the only title that has eluded me in my career, and Bobby so happens to be the one who has it. And when I went through, they didn't mention anything in the video package until, Orton started making his entrance. But they mentioned in the video package about nothing. They mentioned nothing about the top 10 list and nothing, and Xavier Woods and the New Day's voice, nothing about Jinder Mahal. I'm like, really? Like, if those two elements were not involved in the build to this feud, I would have, I would have been like cool with this. Like, this is the simple storyline you could have had going to a B pay-per-view. Just, Orton wanting a chance at the U.S. title because it's the only title that's eluded him, and Bobby Roode happens to be the one who has it. Simple storytelling for a B pay-per-view. I would have taken it. But no, you had to throw in Jinder, and you had to throw in the stupid top 10 list and whatnot. So that's what screwed up the build for this feud for me, and also gave me false hope as well. Jeff Hardy was apparently arrested for a DUI. Oh dear, that's not good. Yikes. And Hassan also says stronger and a bear faster than a buck. The biggest thing to hit Canada because the Maple Leafs suck. Well, they destroyed the Penguins last night. Unfortunately, I was watching at my friend's house. But they may have. Well, I don't think they sucked back then. But yeah, that line definitely is a classic. But man, that's not too good. Oh no, Jeff Hardy had his drug issues and whatnot. I mean, and now this DUI. Oh man, come on, Jeff, what are you doing, man? Ah boy. But thanks for sharing that, Robbie. But anyways, getting back to Roode and Orton. I was hoping that they would just throw Jinder into this match because I was worried that, okay, what if they're going to give a match at Mania? Jinder does not need to be in a match at Mania. But we just got Bobby Roode and Randy Orton. So I'm like, crap. Okay, just see what happens. Maybe they'll just put all that on the back burner because SmackDown does tend to sometimes, make it seem like that we don't remember things happen. Well, first, the match itself. Orton and Rude put on an okay match. To me, it was just okay. It was one of the matches that it was not too boring. It kept me intrigued for the most part, but it felt like it never got to that second level. It didn't really get to that next gear, but it didn't completely put me to sleep. It didn't feel like that, we go back to the match with Orton and Bray at WrestleMania last year. What made that feel so crappy was the fact that it just felt like Orton just had Wyatt in the palm of his hand most of that match, in my opinion, that is. But this match, it seemed like it was anybody's game, but it didn't quite get up to that next level, I felt. To the shock, though, in my opinion, though, Bobby Roode did go for like a dive off of the top rope, but then he got hit with an RKO, and Randy Orton, I believe the 22nd wrestler of all time now to be a Grand Slam champion for the first time in his career, wins the United States Championship. Afterwards, though, as I always say every time it comes out, polishing these double deuces off, Jinder's music hits. I'm like, no. Jinder comes running out, and he starts attacking Orton. They've had their history. And Bobby Roode comes back in, and he saves Orton, hitting Jinder with a glorious DDT. But then Roode goes right back to Orton, and he hits a glorious DDT. And based off the interview we got from Talking Smack, I guess we're probably getting a triple threat of Mania. Why is Jinder Mahal getting a U.S. title match on the main card at WrestleMania? You threw this man into the main event picture last year where he was nowhere close to being a main eventer. I was ticked off because I remember around the time of the Superstar Shakeup last year, I kept saying, maybe they'll put guys like, someone like, like a Curtis Axel or a Bo Dallas, or maybe they'll find open up opportunity for Apollo Crews. That was before he got moved over to Raw. And a few others that just clearly, Rusev, for crying out loud. They were going to give him the title at Money in the Bank last year, but instead they have this whole big India tour, and Jinder's character is from India, so we gotta build him up and make him look good. That way we draw a big audience in India whenever we go into this freaking tour. And as stubborn as I was, as much as I really didn't like Jinder at all, I tried putting that aside and just giving this man a chance. It did not work out. The first month to Money in the Bank, I'm like, all right, Orton, take the title back. He didn't Punjabi person. Okay, whatever. Or take the title back. And after Battleground, I was like, okay, stop. Like, that's what it felt like watching Jinder's title reign. Like, after that, it's like, just stop this, please. It's killing me. And it did, as it was one of the biggest things that killed the SmackDown product. When he dropped the title, I'm like, okay, let's see what happens in the mid-card. So give him a chance. And boy, I lost complete hope for Jinder the night that they did the last two semifinals and the finals for the United States Championship. Because this man just could not. His promo skills got worse. And it even all started back with, as Robbie would call it in our 2017 Year in Review Awards video, in the many faces of Shinsuke Nakamura promos, wherever Jinder just kept making fun of Shinsuke's face. Jinder just constantly now cuts these promos that has us sitting there going, really? Is that the best you got? You're trying to be, an intimidating heel, a bully, a jerk, and this is the best you got? Just coming out and laughing at somebody's face or talking about a stupid top 10 list that means absolutely nothing, and you're making yourself look ridiculous. And you want this man to be in a main card match at WrestleFreaking-Mania? Where is Dolph Ziggler going after the U.S. title? Because that was the title that he relinquished And he's come back like it never even happened. Where is Baron Corbin, who freaking owes a U.S. title rematch, and he hasn't even bothered to go back for it? What's wrong with this picture here? But you can give it to Jinder freaking Mahal. I swear, Jinder better go back over to Raw in the Superstar Shakeup, and I want him to. And he can go back to being the main event of the show called Main Event. Because I am sick and tired of the WWE. Again, Roman Reigns, he's a good talent. I get it. Jinder Mahal, you treat him like a freaking jobber for how many years with 3MB, and he can't do it. I'm sorry. He doesn't cut it for me. If you're a fan of Jinder Mahal, awesome. If you're having this match again, awesome. Me personally, I'm not. And I am tired of the WWE giving him these opportunities and nothing else. Oh, I don't know. But we're probably getting a triple threat now in Mania. I mean, Bobby Roode, if he's going to be a heel in this feud again, I'm completely cool with it. But don't put Jinder's going to be in this match. And that's another thing, too. We'll talk about multiple person matches we're seemingly going to be getting at Wrestle Freaking Mania. But let's go to the live chat really quick. Hassan says, so here's the next problem. SmackDown still have plenty of heel women. Now Raw is worse because Mickey turned heel. Asuka's going to SmackDown. And Bayley or Sasha will turn heel. They probably will. One of the two definitely will. They definitely need to establish some new baby faces for the women's division. They're probably going to turn Nia babyface based off of what happened last week, which last week I actually got invested with the whole thing with Nia possibly facing Alexa at Mania. I mean, I'd be cool with it because there's a story being planted there. But I agree. With a superstar shakeup, they can at least, move some of these people around, establish some more women like baby faces, like, Natalia can go to Raw and turn babyface. If Nikki and Brie come back, which I'm not sure is going to happen, put them on Raw, they'd be baby faces as well. The Riot Squad, I'll talk about the Riot Squad like when I get to their match. And yes, Bobby Roode turning heel would be great. Also, because he's just so much better as a heel. I'm sorry, he's bland as a baby face. I mean, I get it, we were going to cheer him when he came up, but he needs to be a heel. He thrives much better as a heel. He's pretty much a Miz. The Miz is flat as a baby face. That 2013 run, he was a baby face. I'm sorry, that was not the Miz. As a heel, the Miz thrives, and that's where Bobby Roode thrives as well. WWE are abusing heels by making them superior to the faces. Turning too many stars heel is like abusing too many animals. So yeah, WWE are abusing heels. Sure, Alexa, Sammy, Neville, but Jinder's meh, definitely. And plus, also, it just seems anymore that the creative head writers the creative writers or whatnot. Whatever you want to call them now, I don't even know what to call them anymore. Are think that we are more invested in the heels than the baby faces because they seem to be able to write heels better than baby faces. It's the Deluxe Man did a video on this sometime last summer as well, and he just hit on it really hard how he thinks that it's just they definitely focus more on the villains, and they think that they're the ones who can be drawing the viewers. I completely agree with that philosophy what it sees, but they just can't book a purebred babyface. Henceforth, everybody's heels. Everybody is getting heat. But yes, Jinder just is not cutting it for me. Imagine Shinsuke, Asuka, and Kairi turn heel. They'll be chicken shit. Yes. That's another thing, too. I made another video this past fall talking about why a lot of heel champions anymore seem to be booked poorly because they all are booked as cowards. Yes, there's some, The Miz works well as a coward. And he has the mic skills and everything to back him up. But guys the Club, Kevin Owens, terribly booked. You can't just keep relying. You need someone like Samoa Joe, who's not afraid of anything, comes in there and has the confidence. Someone a heel, someone who's booked as unstoppable that you want to see just finally get beat. And the WWE cannot seem to do that at all. I hated when Corbin lost the Money in the Bank briefcase. Sure, it was a punishment. Come on, but yeah, definitely the way he just cut him off like that. That pissed me off. That week, like that kind of killed a lot of my excitement for SummerSlam. And then when he came out at SummerSlam the following week for his the opening match of SummerSlam and just pretty much just let Cena just make him look like an idiot. I'm like, come on, this man should have been coming out and trying to kill Cena, but he do that. So they just cut off all of his momentum right there, unfortunately. And that's another thing, abusing too many multi-matches. We'll get into that. Now, Raw would have 2 face women. They do, yeah. Well, who are they now? We'll track. Well, right now, Bayley and Sasha are either going to turn face or heel. Well, Dana Brooke, yeah, everybody on Raw is pretty much heel right now for the most part. My goodness. Mike, you were quite clever asking me if the Riot Squad Street Fight had 1 or 2 T's. Miz and Sheamus roll as heels, definitely. You get a heel turn. You get a heel turn. You get a heel turn. Everybody gets a heel turn. I made that little bit of a reference on there for the AA. If AJ turns heel and keeps the WWE title, he better not be a closet champ. I hope not either. I wish he made a WWE rant video. Yeah, I definitely want to. I just want to know what topic I should make it on, because I seem to discuss like all these topics that are meant for rant videos in my reviews. But yeah, I need to make some type of good rant video. But I don't want to make it fully way just trashing the whole product, because there is still stuff in the company that I do enjoy. Like if it was 2015 level garbage, then probably it'd be getting a rant video. But the whole product itself has its peaks, but also has its down lows right now. But guys, thank you as always for the comments in the live chat. Yeah, I do not know where Lauren is. Maybe she went to bed already. But guys, thank you. I'm going to continue on here. But yeah, backstage, we had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn talking to each other. And Owens is mad that Zayn, just pretty much turned on him and pinned him in the Fatal 5-Way last week. But Zayn's trying to say, hey, that was last week. This is this week. I'm keeping my word. I'm gonna be your guardian angel. And I'm still gonna do what I said I'm gonna do in the 6-pack challenge. But Kevin would not do that and just walked out. So I'm like, all right, cool. It's still I'm like, okay, that's fine. Sami told him what he would do, but now there's some trust issues right there. Is Sami really gonna hold his word, or is he not? We'll talk about what happened in that. They did actually go somewhere. That's what I was like. There were things that were said, and the WWE just didn't completely push them off to the side, as it seemed to do on SmackDown to build to this pay-per-view. But that was a good, simple, to the point backstage segment. Then we got this women's tag match: Becky Lynch and Naomi taking on Carmella and Natalya. I mean, this didn't need to be a tag match, honestly. I don't understand why it had to be a tag match. It came about because of just some random things that Becky and Carmella said to each other over Twitter, and Naomi and Natalya mentioning how Naomi mentioned to Natalya how Carmella has no friends. This didn't need to be a tag match. Carmella should, I'll say Carmella hasn't been a complete flop as Miss Money in the Bank. But one, they made them do the match again because James Ellsworth took the title. Won the briefcase for her, which they didn't have to do it again. I don't think they had to. But Carmella should have been one person that should have been in more non-women's title singles matches, in my opinion. But they could have had her. This could have been just Carmella and Becky. For all I care. It could have at least helped build up Carmella. The right team won, in my opinion. Natalya and Carmella winning was right, but again, it didn't have to have Natalya in there. It could have been it could have been Carmella and Naomi. It just should have been just a singles match, not these random tag matches we get all the time that don't feel fresh. It feels so pointless at all. The only other way I would accept this, and I know we got the match that needs to happen at Mania, but if we were going another direction for Charlotte's opponent for Mania, the only reason I probably would have accepted this match is if Becky Lynch turned heel at the end of it, which I think, again, as we just discussed, if we established more baby faces in the women's division, Becky's definitely one of the next person people need to turn heel. I at this point, realistically, you think Becky's been going at it, dealing with all this for how long now? When is she finally gonna snap? I feel like if I would be going that long, without having success, I'd snap pretty much. But but other than that, this match is pointless. It was a waste of time, I felt. Probably the worst match of the night, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, the right team won is to give Carmella some momentum going towards WrestleMania season. As you know, she probably needs a little bit more as Miss Money in the Bank. But we'll see what happens. Let's see here. The Authority can be extremely annoying, especially to Daniel Bryan and often opening Raw. Oh, don't remind me of those days. It was the same thing happening all the time. And the way, and then whenever it was Team Cena versus Team Authority, whenever, they finally got rid of the Authority. And I just felt that they could have brought the Authority were meant to come back. They could have brought them back a better way. It just looked really weak the way they brought them back. I remember that night, that Raw was like great. Like, with Daniel Bryan announced his return going to the Rumble, I was fired up. And then it happened like, yeah, what? It just, that was very weak booking, I felt, for that. Sammy should stay heel a while longer before turning face. Possibly, yeah. I mean, he's doing fine as a heel, but like they had like this other direction for him going as like this purebred babyface, and the WWE just ruined it because they did nothing with him for how long. But I can't complain. He's done good as a heel as well. Jack Gallagher fails as a heel. Either turn him face again or do something with him. Yes. Oh yeah, the club. Do you know Progress Wrestling and the faction British Strong Style? I do not, but thank you for asking me anyways, but I do not. But yes, WWE should bring British Strong Style. I'll take your word for it, man. If they do that. All right. Yep. Thanks for the stuff as well. As always, Hassan. Let's continue on there. After getting past that pointless tag match to another tag match that I had a lot of high hopes for this match. But it well, okay, actually, first before we get this match, I can't remember when it happened, but AJ Styles was being interviewed backstage, talking about his match coming up. And I can't remember exactly what was asked in the interview. I think it was saying how he's going to defy the odds and whatnot, even though it still drives me nuts because, like, a few weeks ago, like when the bill for this pay-per-view first came around, he mentioned something about how, the stuff between Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, is starting to affect him a little bit, as well as, they're like, bickering back and forth. And it's just, he's constantly having like, he's feeling like he's fighting their fires as well by constantly facing Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And of course, he got piled on with more people in his match, which it's tough because AJ's a babyface, but, he's made that comment, like, okay, you say that, and then you keep getting more and more people added to your match. Like, it's coming to a point where it's like, okay, guys, cool it. Look what you're doing right there. You're pretty much creating just a big cluster of people. Like, you're throwing like everybody into this match. Like, like this is getting a little bit absurd. But anyways, he was talking about how he wants to defy the odds and whatnot. And up comes Shinsuke Nakamura. He's like, good luck tonight. And he's about to say, I'm going to be at WrestleMania again. And I like how this AJ is like, oh, just stop. And it's pretty much just mentions how, he's going to be, he'll be the one being at WrestleMania. But it's like, I can't remember exactly what was said in the whole segment. I just remember his AJ's cutting him off because I'm just like thinking, oh my goodness, he's going to say this again. He's going to be my WrestleMania. This is the only thing that seems to be built around with AJ saying that. I'm like, finally, something different. So I look forward to seeing the build for WrestleMania 34. Definitely between these two. I mean, I think it's going to be a face-on-face feud going into this match. Because both these guys are going to be definitely getting cheered. So I think, just turning one of them heel would be all right. But I feel like keep this as face-on-face because it's just a match that people have dreamed of happening. But definitely tell a good story behind it also. But yeah, I just had to throw that in there real quick. But let's get to this SmackDown tag title match. Yeah. Oh, British Strong Style consists of Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, and Trent Seven. Yeah, I mean, I watched them down at NXT. Of course, I'm huge fans, but I know they were called British Strong Style. Yeah, Pete Dunne is definitely the best out of that group. I mean, that's why I felt he was definitely deserved to be the strongest contender and be the UK champion and doing a great job he's doing right now. Anyway, so let's talk about this tag title match. One of the only matches I think I was probably looking forward to for this show. Even though, it was random having these two fight again, and the story was there, simple place. Okay, these two teams have been around for how long now, and they haven't really had their WrestleMania moment yet. Well, the New Day had a match at WrestleMania 32 against the freaking League of Nations, the League of Jobbers. it just led to, I mean, it was cool seeing a moment with, Stone Cold, HBK, and Foley coming out, but that year the New Day deserved to have like a big like highlight moment at WrestleMania, and they lost also. Last year they were the hosts, and the Usos have never been on the main show. So this was them pretty much saying like they didn't want to sit on the sideline this year, and they wanted to have their WrestleMania moment. So I'm like, okay, it got a killer match. The match, it was just the New Day and Usos, just like okay, yeah, they're rivals. They have big rival. Yes, they now have respect for each other, though. Why would you have them go out there, though, and just start, just like, the New Day mocking the Usos, wrestling style, and then the Usos doing the same thing to the New Day? I thought that was just goofy. I'm just like, why is this? Like, why can't we just have this, just a match? Because these two are literally fighting for their spots at for a spot at WrestleMania. Like, can't they take this a little more seriously? I thought, in my opinion. And then the Bludgeon Brothers music hits. I'm like, uh-oh. The Bludgeon Brothers come out, and I mean, as much as I felt like, okay, this should have at least this match, this whole thing was just an angle to set up, the Bludgeon Brothers getting their tag title shot next. I get it. I felt that this was meant just for an episode of SmackDown. Because to me, it felt like that this match, like, had a story there. One of the only matches there I was actually looking forward to for the show that had an actual good story there, like a simple story, but then they use it as an angle. I just wasn't quite a fan of doing that, but I can't take away from the fact that this was a fun, angle right here to see the Bludgeon Brothers just demolish all five of them. Big E, Kofi, they actually use their little, hammers and whatnot on everyone as well. And then poor Xavier Woods got taken out with that double crucifix slam into the steel steps. The Bludgeon Brothers are no doubt about it. They need to win the SmackDown tag titles at WrestleMania. They built them up so well to the point it's like, it's time. It is so time to put those titles on the Bludgeon Brothers. I mean, when they were in the Wyatt family, it's Harper and Rowan. In 2014, as I keep saying, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, they should have won those tag titles when they feuded with the Usos back then, but they didn't win them. But the match they had were awesome. The only thing is, though, is we're getting another multi-person match at WrestleMania. Why? I don't mind them, but they need to feel special. And having too many of them, it does not feel special. We already have a triple threat for the IC title. Yes, that's awesome. The U.S. title, which has freaking Jinder Mahal involved. I'm not going to go back on that rant again. And yes, I like the Usos. I like the New Day. I like, Harper and Rowan. But WrestleMania moments are more special to me when it's just one-on-one or team-on-team. I wanted it to be just, the Usos and then the Bludgeon Brothers, because like I said, the matches they had in 2014 at Money in the Bank and Battleground, amazing. I want to see that match on the main show, WrestleMania, but we're getting another triple threat, another multi-person match, which just, it feels like it's too much. Again, where credit is due, I'll give it the fact that, this whole angle with the Bludgeon Brothers was cool, but I was disappointed to see them, like, just the New Day and the Usos being treated as, like, filler leading up to this angle. And now we're getting another triple threat of Mania. Man. Live chat, do we got anything? Let's see here. Alexa's butt needs to feud with Charlotte's abs. Oh, gosh. If Becky turns heel on Raw, I'm in. But should Shinsuke win the title, stays on SmackDown, Finn goes to SmackDown, I think he'll turn and feud with Shinsuke. Yes, I'd be cool with that. Are you rooting and betting Shinsuke to win the title? Yeah. WWE never had a Japanese world champion because Yokozuna was a Japanese character, but he's actually Samoan. I think Shinsuke's win the title of Mania. Do you watch Joe Cronin? I do not. But WrestleMania 34, the multi-person Mania match. Hell, well, multi-person match Mania. That's what we're getting pretty much here, boys. Man, but yeah, I can't say this was a complete flop. But again, I was hoping for a good match between these two teams again. And the angle happening, yes. But again, this was something, it felt like it could have just happened on SmackDown. Why did it have to be at a pay-per-view? I don't know, guys. Maybe I don't know. What do I know? But that was that. Then we had there's a rumor that WrestleMania will be 2 days. Really? Oh man. Oh man, the shows are just getting longer and longer, guys. Why can't it be just 4 solid hours? I count that freaking 2-hour pre-show. But anyways, let's get to the SmackDown Women's Championship match. It's Charlotte taking on Ruby Riott with 2 T's. Of all the video packages, guys, I am sorry, but I did not like the video package for this feud built up. As I said, this storyline does not make sense, as I tweeted about. One, because this is pure obvious the Riott Squad is just another copy of Absolution. If it was, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan just working for Paige on the SmackDown brand, then cool, I can forgive that. I would be a little more interested. But the fact they're just going out of the way just to copy, have these women just copy what's going on there. And also, here's the thing that also bugged me. The first thing they showed was the promo cut last week where Ruby Riott pretty much finally came out and explained why the Riott Squad was formed and like what this has been all about. That happened last. But in the weeks leading up to this was Charlotte saying she wants to finally just take out the Riott Squad one by one, which she took out Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. And then last was Ruby. And as I said, Ruby asked for a title opportunity after pinning Becky in a 6-1 tag match. Like, why couldn't, be like, okay, I get a title opportunity. Ruby's like, I get a title opportunity if I can beat Naomi and Becky. They could have gone that route, but no, they gave their title opportunity, I felt, way too soon. And also the fact that they throw that, again, that promo last week, again, although it was delivered great, it didn't make any sense. Because one, it felt like it's something that Road Dogg just made up when he woke up that morning. Like, oh, I know why we can explain why the Riott Squad's now here. And also the stuff that Ruby said, again, I love Ruby Riott. She's a great talent. But I just feel like the history she's had down at NXT, I mean, she's great, don't get me wrong. She does not have the history to back up all of what she said. And the fact they tried to, screw with us and play that first in the video package kind of ticked me off a little bit. The match they had was all right. I mean, the big thing that bothered me was like, okay, these two took out, like, the other opposing 2 members on each of their teams. Why did they each have to come out? If their alliances didn't come out, I would have been cool with this match. I would have probably given this match a little more credit than it did. But because of that, it wasn't a terrible match, but it was just something we've seen how many times since after Survivor Series when this trio first came up, the same exact thing. Again, I'll give it to them. It wasn't bad at all, but it was just one to pass by. But afterwards, though, this is what I liked. Asuka's music hits, and I'm like, yes, 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 as we're getting another big money match for WrestleMania. Asuka and Charlotte. Asuka came out, even though for a while they kept making it seem like that, oh yeah, Asuka, hasn't made her decision yet, but they kept saying, oh, Asuka's going to face the Raw Women's Championship. Asuka's going to fight Nia Jax, and if Nia Jax wins, she gets added to the Raw Women's Championship match. They kept specifically saying that Asuka's facing the Raw Women's Champion, but they didn't give her the option of which titles she wanted to face. But with Alexa still being champion, like, if Paige was healthy and was able to win that Raw Women's Championship, then definitely Paige and Asuka. Definitely Paige and Asuka. But the fact that we're getting Charlotte and Asuka is just as good for me. So we're going to get a great marquee match. And last week they planted some good seeds with the whole angle with Alexa and Nia. I'm fine with that now going forward. So we can get finally getting 2 solid two solid women's title matches that are one-on-one. We could be getting one of the best. I mean, we had the match at WrestleMania 32, but that was a triple threat. But that was great. I can't take that away. But the first time since probably WrestleMania 22, when it was Mickey and Trish, are we going to get? We should be getting at least one great women's one-on-one title match, because Charlotte and Asuka's going to tear the house down, and even Nia and Alexa can do the job as well. because of the angle they were going with as well. So I was pleased with that. The match average, but I would have enjoyed it better if they didn't bring out each of these women's alliances. Didn't need to happen because they each have taken them all out. Why are they back there? Doesn't make sense, but what do I know? Once again, but then we got our main event. First, let's see here. I usually ignore video packages. I don't mind video packages as long as they tell good stories, but I just wasn't a fan of how they made the one for that match. The sad part is Absolution is down one active wrestler, but the Riot Squad is still a trio. Yeah, I know. I don't know what the heck they're going to do a page. You think WWF No Mercy is one of the greatest wrestling games ever? I don't, because for me that game sucks. I have actually never played that game. When Mickey fought Trish, she licked her. Yeah, I know what she did. Do you like Hey Arnold? I haven't watched him in a long time, but I watched him as a kid. Football head. But yeah, Hey Arnold wasn't too bad of a show. I watched him when I was younger. But let's get to this main event. The main event was the six-pack challenge. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler versus John Cena. Again, the story with this whole thing coming together was just all over the place. It was just changing directions every single week. And, who was involved in this match, who wasn't. It was just that. But on paper, it sounded like it would be a fun match, and it was. So I'll give it. It was definitely a fun match against six guys I do believe can be world champion. AJ Styles, of course, is world champion material. John Cena, of course, is world champion material. Kevin Owens, hopefully he'll get a better run with the world title, like he did with the Universal title. Sami Zayn, world champion material. Baron Corbin, definitely. They just cut off all his momentum. And Dolph Ziggler, of course, who, again, could be world champion, but they're not going to give him world title. Now, this booking makes no sense again. But this match was fun. I loved it. A few of my favorite moments. Dolph Ziggler was countered. Well, at the beginning, so I made a reference on Twitter, and I mentioned what was from me. It probably might not be funny for those of you who don't watch The Big Bang Theory, but I'm a huge fan of that show. But there was an episode wherever the girl was supposed to go to Vegas. The guys were playing Dungeons and Dragons, and when the girls came back from Vegas because they got kicked out of where they're at, they wanted to play with them as well. So they asked Howard, the Dungeon Master, saying, who I'll leave as the Dungeon Master if the girls are allowed to play D&D. And he made some reference to the game, and then he goes, "You're playing D&D. You're playing D&D. You're playing D&D. This whole apartment is playing D&D." When Cena started off the match on all those AAs, I'm like, oh, look, you're getting an AA. You're getting an AA. Now you get an AA. Everyone in this match is getting an AA. Except for AJ Styles, of course, because AJ Styles, made a move towards Cena, and Cena was like, okay, now okay, I catch you right there. But Styles did go for the AA. There was a moment later in the match where Cena went to hit another AA on Ziggler, and but Ziggler counted her out into a nice, looking famous sir. I thought that was a great spot. There was a sequence right after that where Corbin hit a really sick-looking deep six. I think it was on AJ Styles, and him and Ziggler had a good back-to-back action. They got out into the crowd. I believe he threw him through one of the glass, one of the glass windows, where the Blue Jackets would play, since we were in the Nationwide Arena in Columbus tonight. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of this review. Yes, to the moments with the tables. And then, of course, Shane was out there also. Now, they had drifted away for a few weeks on the whole issue between Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon. It didn't really tease much the past 2 weeks. But they mentioned that Daniel Bryan was not there as he was away for a family event. So Shane had the same print upon his hands. It would have been nice to have a little bit like a build to that, or have him backstage segment. Unless he did on the pre-show, and I just completely missed it. But Shane was out there watching this match. And there was a moment during this match wherever Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were in the ring. It was just the two of them, and they got face to face. And Kevin was still ticked off at Sami after what happened last week on SmackDown. And Sami's like, "I stand my word. I stand my word. I'm gonna do it." He laid down for Owens. I'm like, is he gonna do this? Is he gonna give this all up for him? And it was like Owens was about to go down and pin him, but then he picked up Sammy and he started to, beat the crap out of him again. I'm like, wow, I thought that he was going to actually go for it, but nope, we're getting Fight Forever all over again. And I'm like, I dig it. I'm doing this. So they brawl with each other. They get outside the ring, and then when Zayn laid out, Zayn lays out, looks over and starts talking trash to Shane, and Shane just like, just mind my own business, mind my own business. And then Owens goes to super kick Shane. Super kick Zayn, but then Zayn gets out of the way and he accidentally kicks Shane. So I'm like, uh-oh, here we go again. Owens is like, oh no, what'd I do? So then he got back into the ring, and then not too long later hit a pop-up powerbomb on Ziggler. Goes for the count, 1, 2. Shane pulls the referee out of the ring. I'm like, oh gosh, is Daniel going to come out of the crowd or something right now and tell off Shane or something like that? He's going to appear out of nowhere. And then the referee's like, hey, why did you do that? And then off the distraction, Owens pissed off. Zayn hit the haluva kick on Owens, and then Zayn goes for the pin, but then Shane pulls Sammy out of the ring, and Sammy's just like, are you kidding me? Like, this whole thing just kept continuing between them. Then the Shane just sat down and got out of the way for the rest of the match. But earlier also, AJ Styles was out for most of the second half of the match as John Cena AA'd him through a table. So I'm like, crap. And then we get this sequence where Corbin picks up the steel steps and he starts running and taking everybody out with the steps. And then he gets down to him and Cena. I'm like, okay, well, he's about to hit Cena with the steel steps. Like, okay, just please at least, I would like to see Corbin at least get a little bit of revenge on Cena and just get him some momentum going back. Unfortunately, no. Cena stops with the steel steps, hit them with them instead, and then he hit Corbin with an A on the steel steps. I'm like, man, like I want Styles to retain, but then I think it was either Dolph or Owens, one of the two, broke that up. I think it was Owens. Yeah, Owens broke that up. I think it is, and then Owens hit the pop-up powerbomb on Cena, but then Styles was up on the ring apron, and he hit a nice-looking phenomenal forearm on Owens, and AJ Styles retains the title. Whew, the dream match is saved. We are getting AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania 34. The match that should be the main event. But it'll probably be Brock and Roman. At this point, I was like, whatever, just give me a good match. You're already giving me a good story so far with Brock and Roman. Just give me a good match. Battle Over is also about Triple H and Stephanie taking on Ronda and Kurt being the main event as well. We'll see what happens. But yeah, show ends. Shane makes his way out. We had Talking Smack. We had good interviews from Randy Orton, Charlotte, and Shane O himself. But yeah, some intriguing stuff on the show, but it was definitely a show that, I can enjoy it for one time. And then I probably wouldn't go back and watch it again. But let's go through it all again. Stuff I did enjoy on the show. The opening match wasn't too bad. The U.S. title match was okay. Just felt it could have gone to another level. Of course, now I'm sour on a little bit because of Jinder, going to be in the match at Mania. Yeah. The women's tag match was pointless. The SmackDown tag title match, I was hoping for better in the match, but the beatdown, I'll take it. But this angle could have been on SmackDown. It didn't have to be on a pay-per-view. If they would have at least given me a good match, a better match between the two of them, I would have definitely, been all right with the felt a little better about this having this on the pay-per-view in general. But we're getting a multi-person match. The women's title match, again, would have been better if they didn't have, the alliances get involved again. But, of course, Asuka coming out and making her pick official. And, of course, the main event was definitely match tonight. That match was fun. I loved it. Again, I'm glad AJ retained. Everybody got, the stories being told in there. Afterwards, Ziggler wanted his WrestleMania match. He not going to get it. Cena's path to WrestleMania is, again, put to a halt. We don't know what's going to happen with him next. Probably him and Taker or him and Strowman. We don't know what's going to happen there. We had that. We got Styles retaining, overcoming the odds. We have Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, continuing their whole vendetta with Shane. This thing was Sami, KO, Shane, and Daniel, though, better lead to something. Because if they just put them in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, that's going to be awful. Terrible. Just what point is all together? You're going to get the fans up if you're teasing something with Daniel Bryan and tension with somebody else, like Shane McMahon. it's going to be a bad idea if they pull the plug on on an idea for that match at all. My thing is, if they're building up tension between Sammy and Kevin, I predicted in my card predictions, like, one of them teams with Shane, one of them teams with Daniel. Because if Daniel and Shane are going to want to go at it, why would and if Sammy and Kevin continue this tension between them, then have one pair with the other or whatnot. We'll see what happens. So, definitely could be interesting. Let's see here. Let's see what we got here. If yes, what's your favorite character? Hey Arnold character other than Arnold? Oh crap! I'm trying to remember all the characters' names. All I remember was the girl Helga, whatever her name was. I had to go back and watch it again. I haven't watched it in years, but I definitely enjoyed the show as a kid. So I was like, what the fuck is Shane doing to Owens and Zayn? They teased breakup, and now they might be forced to reunite and feud with Shane again. Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've been caught in the whole middle of this whole feud with Shane and Daniel. But I do agree, like, having them this fight in like a Hell in a Cell match and just a match between like Shane and Kevin again wouldn't feel as fresh. But again, if they have a tag match involving Daniel Bryan, I can forgive it. I do get I kind of do give it's starting to get a little bit old with Shane having wrestling matches because all he does is lose all the time. Like it feels too predictable. That's why I wasn't a fan of him being the last person for Team SmackDown Live. Like that's the reason why I felt like the eliminations for the Men's Survivor Series match last year was just weird. We got Ashley Pretty Girl. What's up? Yeah, I heard we've already been made aware of it. Jeff Hardy got arrested. Man. And we're talking about Hey Arnold before Chris Jericho did it. Chris Jericho was in Hey Arnold. I'm not sure what you meant by that, Robbie. Rhonda Wellington Lloyd let you know if you made the list. Rhonda's Brady, Robbie One Kenobi. Who is your most favorite Hey Arnold character? He subbed at Robbie. Good job, Hassan. Robbie's awesome. Rhonda made the list. Eugene made the list. Oscar made the list. Festival of Friendship. Yes, love that. Enzo Amore Blanchester. Do you like Nathan Drake? Not sure what it is. Triple H drafted the SmackDown, traded to Raw in 2004. Cena drafted the SmackDown, drafted back to Raw in 2011. All right, I'll give you guys a couple more minutes if you have any more questions for me in the live chat. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this review for Fastlane. And overall, it was a passable show. Didn't expect it to be that great. Definitely the weakest pay-per-view so far of the year, but it wasn't a complete flop, but it was just one of those shows that you can sit through one time and be like, all right, what happened, but I wouldn't go back and watch it again. So average show could have been could have just been another episode of SmackDown, honestly, but even if it was still a strong episode, in my opinion, of SmackDown. So let's see here. What grade would you give Fastlane? I got 23 votes on this. We got 22% say A, 35% say B, 30% say C, and 13% say D. My grade, I will give this a C. Average show. Some stuff I enjoyed, some stuff was just meh. This overall, it was if it was an episode of SmackDown Live, definitely would get a higher grade. But for pay-per-view, it was just average. But it wasn't a complete flop. Just hope this is the last of Fastlane. Unless if you want to put this pay-per-view somewhere else. But this whole pay-per-view just never has really been much of a success, in my opinion. But in my opinion, the second best of the 4 we've had of all the Fastlanes. Do you prefer Triple H on Raw or SmackDown? Do you prefer Cena on SmackDown or Raw? At this point, I mean, Triple H going to SmackDown at this point would be fresh if he was still a wrestler. Could be fresh there. I feel like he's faced a lot of people on Raw already. Cena, I mean, maybe. I mean, I feel like if I was watching more back in the day, Cena definitely being on Raw was definitely overdone. Honestly, so maybe them both being on SmackDown, but I'd say if it was today, I think Cena has more fresh feuds on Raw right now. So put him back on Raw, and then Triple H on SmackDown, I'd say. So let's go with that for today. Jericho wasn't on Hey Arnold, but before he had the list of Jericho, Rhonda had her own list of cool people and geeks, and that's the connection I was making. Rhonda told people, you just made the list. Oh, okay, thanks for clarifying that. Fastlane will be smacktastic. Oh, yeah, cool, Robbie. The Hey Arnold characters are Helga, Gerald. Okay, I remember Gerald now. Phoebe, Grandpa and Grandma. Oh, I remember Grandpa. Oh, yeah, Harold. Yeah, I'd have to go back and watch Hey Arnold again, but yeah, that was definitely one of the shows on Nickelodeon I enjoyed watching. I mean, I watched Nickelodeon, but I was more of a Cartoon Network guy as a kid. But yeah, definitely Hey Arnold was definitely a show I always sat down. I would watch. So yeah, I'll give you maybe a couple more minutes. There's a few more minutes here, guys, and then I'm gonna head to bed because daylight savings time, skipping that hour last night really threw me off my sleep. Yeah, that's why. You know what? Where did it go? Where did it go? Put on my bed. All right. So you know what happens whenever you cause us to have to bring forward an hour? You know what happens when I lose an hour of sleep? Daylight savings time. I'm sorry. You definitely bring a lot more light out, and you know that summer and the warmer weather is on its way, but I'm sorry, when you affect my sleep, daylight savings time, you just made the list. All right, sorry I had to do that, guys. Let me see here, any last minute questions? Dexter's Lab. Yes, I like Dexter's Lab. Did you know actually? I actually because here and there I get an itch to go back and look at some of my own cartoons, old cartoons I used to watch. Did you know that Dexter's Laboratory actually has a banned episode? I didn't know that until about a month or so ago. I found out it was this episode called Rude Removal, where Dexter makes this machine to remove the rudeness of Dee Dee and himself, but then the rudeness of them got out and literally went down and started just trashing the kitchen. But the thumbnail for that episode is Dee Dee giving the finger and Dexter just exposing his rear end. But there's just a lot of cursing and whatnot, and a lot of inappropriate things in that episode that it was banned. But I guess someone got a hold of it and they liked it. So that's why I upload YouTube, any adult television websites as well. But yeah, I definitely didn't know that. But I thought it was kind of funny. Let me see here. Hey Arnold, live reaction on my channel, Mike. Let's do it. That's why I like you. Gosh, Robbie, Hassan's tired. Fallback made the list. I like Spring Forward. Yeah, I mean, Spring Forward definitely. Again, the thing about, I feel bad about putting daylight savings time on the list because that means summer's on its way. We're getting more warmer weather. Well, of course, it depends on where you live. If you live down south, then you definitely get the taste of warm weather all the time. But when you live up here in the Northeast, you get the cold air and the snow, which, I accept it for, when it's supposed to be that time when it does so. But then after a while, it's like, okay, come on, guys, let's get to this warm weather now. I'm sick of all this. And as I've gotten older, I've slowly grown tired of it. Well, I drive and I go out places now. And, when I'm younger, you want school to be canceled. But no, it's like, yeah. But yeah, I fall back. I mean, I know it's because, winter's on its way and it's getting darker earlier, but let's get that extra hour. Hopefully I can come back for the Raw review. Hopefully you can as well. And I'll bring not only the Zelina Vega ice cream bars, but also bring the crispy, tangy, honey mustard barbecue flavor. Have made that reference ever since Enzo left. Ah, man. Boy. Yeah, I could use some wings right now also. I use a burger, actually. Maybe I'll go run to Five Guys for lunch tomorrow. Grab a Five Guys burger. Those are always delicious. But yeah, if that's pretty much it, I think I'll check out now, guys. We've been going for about an hour, which is fine with me. But guys, yes, Hassan, Robbie, what was the name again of the girl who made a comment about Jeff Hardy? Ashley, Pretty Girl. Thank you guys for tuning in for this live review. Again, if you are tuning into this after the video has been uploaded, you can leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. What grade would you give Fastlane? What was your favorite match? What was match of the night? Again, I gave Fastlane a C. My match of the night was definitely the main event. Again, passable show. Wouldn't go back and watch it again, but it was passable definitely for what it was. But yeah, so leave your thoughts down in the comment section below as always, and be sure to click my like and subscribe for more content on my channel, and follow me on Twitter at TheManArab93. I'll be back up here tomorrow night live for my live Raw review around probably 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. Doing that. SmackDown Tuesday night, Wednesday nights NXT, and of course Road to WrestleMania episode 28 will come this week as well. Hopefully another special live stream later this week, but I'm going to be a lot busier the end of this week, so I may not be able to do one this week. But so, yep, I guess with that, Robbie says, congrats, Mike. You went a full hour of this live stream. If this was the Royal Rumble, you'd be the Iron Man. Yes. Well, it depends on how long the stream goes. I could break the 61-minute man record, or 62 minutes by Mysterio. I had to make the reference there. But yes, guys, Hassan, Robbie, Ashley, thank you guys again for tuning into this live stream. As always, again, Fastlane, wasn't a complete flop. It wasn't one of my favorites, but it wasn't a complete flop. I made it through. So now this pay-per-view's out of the way. We're 28 days away from WrestleMania 34. We still have some good matches already on the card, so I'm just looking forward to it. April 2018 can't come here soon enough. So, guys, have a great night. Get some sleep if you're thrown off from the lost hour of sleep. And I'll be back up here tomorrow night for my live Raw reviews. We are now on the full speed ahead. We are now on the we already got through the fast lanes. Now we're on the home stretch to the road to WrestleMania. Until tomorrow night, guys, I will catch you then. Have a good night.